Welcome to Smell of Page. The Treasure Box, written by Sarojini Sinha. Chapter 6. For a few days, Govind was very sick and miserable, but then fever came down and the rash disappeared. When he had fully recovered, he went to the temple of Shidala Mata to offer prayers. Abdul wounds too had healed and he came to visit Govind. "Have you heard the news?" he asked. "What news?" "The Firanjis have returned to the ridge." "How could they? Not after so many have perished in Meerut and Delhi. Besides, they are still fighting in Lucknow, Kanpur, Jhansi and other places." "That's true, Govind, but they marched to Delhi and stormed the ridge." "I'm glad I didn't leave Delhi. I shall fight the foreigners and help defeat them." Govind was vehement. Abdul laughed. "Brave words indeed," he exclaimed. "You can't even hold a gun properly." Govind looked put out. So Abdul said encouragingly, "I didn't mean it that way. You are a brave lad, and I shall teach you how to use the gun." Thank you so much," Govind said. "But by the time I learn to use the gun, the war will be over." Abdul grinned. "Don't worry, Govind. We do have people with guns. Don't you know that sepoys from all over the country are pouring into Delhi?" Govind knew. He also knew that some sepoys were quartered in barracks. Others who had no accommodation were taking over vacant houses. The emperor's treasury was empty, and they received no pay. Besides, the emperor was too old to lead them to battle. In the absence of a leader, the sepoys were getting frustrated. Their eagerness to fight was turned into dissatisfaction. While on my way here, Abdul interrupted his thoughts. I passed the Red Fort. The troops were drawn up for review. The emperor came out of the palace, sitting regally on his decorated elephant. The band struck up a martial tune, and the troops stood at attention. Did they present a fine spectacle in the morning sun? The emperor is noble, Govind. He wants to lead, but he has been a pensioner of the Firanjis for so long that he has forgotten how to exercise authority. Govind's brows puckered. What about his eldest son, Prince Mirza Mughal? Has he not been appointed commander-in-chief? Alas, he too isn't much of a leader, replied Abdul. The two friends pondered over the sorry state of the affairs. After a while, Abdul left, leaving Govind deep in thought. Your food is ready, Govind Bhaiya, Bola called out. Shall I bring it? I'm not hungry. I don't want to eat. You had better eat while there is food, retorted Bola, with a flash of temper. Soon there may be none. What do you mean? The shops are closed, and the shops have been closed for a long time now, Govind interrupted. 'Twas true. The shops were closed when the sepoys from Meerut came to Delhi. The emperor had proclaimed by beat of drums that shopkeepers who did not open their shops would be punished, and those who looted shops would have their ears and noses chopped off. But his threat had no effect. Bola said, The shops were closed, but I could always buy something now that the Angries have returned. The city gates are closed, and it will be almost impossible for the village folk to bring their grain, vegetables, and fresh fruits here. Soon, nothing will be available in the markets. Govind ate his meal and said thoughtfully, Bola, we should hide a little food. Let's take some tal, wheat and rice and hide them in the tekana. In the evening, Govind and Bola went out for a stroll. A fresh, cool breeze blew in their faces. It was the beginning of the rainy season and the weather was pleasant. A little way down the lane, was a small one-roomed hut standing on land which belonged to Govind's father. From the hut, smoke was spiraling, and Govind said, "I think Selmabi is still here." "She has no relatives and nowhere to go to," Bola pointed out. That is the old house of hers. She won't leave him behind." Selmabi's husband was employed as a sais by Ayodhya Prasad. Later he managed to save money to buy a horse and tonga, which he plied for hire. He died suddenly of cholera. Selmabi, who was childless, was left alone. Ayodhya Prasad had given her the horse and a small monthly allowances. Selmabi did not sell the horse or tonga. She lavished her affection on the horse and called him Beta. She would say, "The horse worked for us and earned us good money. Now that he is old and useless, I won't sell him to be beaten or ill-treated." She fed the horse better than she fed herself, so she was just a bundle of skin and bones. Because of her age, she was treated with respect by everyone. Selmabi was cooking in the courtyard when she saw Govind and Bola. She welcomed them with a toothless smile. Spreading a dirty duri for them to sit on, she said, "I'm sorry, I can't offer you anything. But you know how poor I am, and these days everything is so expensive." "Don't worry, Selmabi. We have more than enough to eat, and I shall let you have whatever you need." She thanked Govind and offered them water in earthen cups. They drank the water and chatted for some time before taking leave of her. Govind was quite well, but he did not leave for Bulandshahr, partly because he wanted to protect his house from looters, and partly he was keen to fight the foreigners. Bola sniffed. "There are thousands of sepoys crowding into Delhi. I hear there are only 3,000 old angry soldiers on the ridge. I wonder why the sepoys can't try them out." Govind had no answer to that. One night, when Govind and Bola were sleeping on the terrace with a gun between them, the boy heard someone opening the garden gate. His hand flew to the gun, and looking over the parapet, he saw a tall, well-built sepoy standing in the garden. "Who are you?" he challenged. "I can ask you the same question," the man replied. "Who are you, and what are you doing here?" This took Govind's breath away, and he answered angrily, "I like that. This is my father's house, and I'm in charge here in his absence. Who are you, and why have you come here at this time of night?" The man sounded amused. "Is it Govind?" Taken aback, Govind answered, "Yes. How do you know my name?" "I'm Chindamani," he said.